Hey guys, Aldo here with PragerU. Today we're at UCLA to talk to students about slavery reparations and who deserves them. Let's go. We're talking about slavery reparations today. Governor Newsom just had a new task force to determine how much each person should get. What do you think about slavery reparations?
I mean, I think that's probably a great idea, like, especially if one's family was affected, then, if that goes down the line, then of course, yeah.
I think I'd support that personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, especially as many years that went by and as much damage that's been caused, of course.
Yeah, it's complicated, but yes, I would say leaning towards more in favor.
How do you think we should determine who gets reparations? Would it be fair to say that anyone with ancestral ties to slavery should receive compensation?
Yeah, of course, if there's that, like, documentation that they kept, I don't know if they kept any documentation about that, but I think that would be a great idea, like going down a historical timeline.
Oh yeah, of course, like because that's like generational wealth right there. Like that's the exact term right there is generational wealth.
I guess it's complicated. I wouldn't really know exactly how we would go about.
Yeah, what do you think?
I agree it's very complicated. I think they could possibly go about it by just maybe looking at people's lineage.
So if we've come to the conclusion that anybody who has ancestral ties to slavery should receive compensation, let's talk about some of the other ties. The North African Barbary slave trade actually enslaved more white Christian Europeans at the time than the American.
This nigga is so weird. PragerU is so weird. This is a weird stance.
Colonies enslaved Africans. So how much do you think North Africans should pay the ancestors of those white Europeans?
Take it up with the white Europeans. I don't understand what that has to do with this conversation. If white Europeans who are the descendants of those people, and let me hold on, let me zoom out real quick. First and foremost, specifically saying slavery reparations is something that I'm not just slavery reparations, because if we're keeping it 100, it's bigger than reparations. There were years post-slavery in which the United States disenfranchised Black people, and I don't think that these people, even want to acknowledge that is going to slavery and keep it going. And random white girl at UCLA, I'm sorry that you had to be put on the spot like this. I'm pretty sure he told you he was a PragerU. You should have left. They don't have any good intentions. They truly don't. But it's not just slavery reparations to my eyes. In my eyes, it's not just slavery reparations. It's reparations for all the things that happened. Jim Crow, redlining, over-policing, putting guns in the community, putting crack into the community. There's a lot of things that go into systemic racism. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Now, we're specifically talking about an American problem, so I don't know the purpose or the need or the reason to bring in what happened in North Africa and if they deserve. But hey, I tell you what, specifically for me, go ask them. Go ask those Christian Europeans, those white Christian Europeans, if they feel like they deserve, reparations from that country or from wherever. I think they said North Africa, the North African region. And then look into who colonized North Africa, because if it ended up being white Christians, then I don't know, buddy. I don't know. But you figure that out. You settle that. You settle that with them. This is about white Americans and what white Americans have done to Black people for an extended period of time. Period, point blank. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going. Boop, boop, boop.
I don't know. I don't know if it would be the same. I think obviously everybody was affected, but I don't know.
Just say you in America. It's not the same because we're in America.
They were treated or something.
We made it in America.
I mean, by that logic, I suppose so. But that means I feel like,
damn, his elbow is scraped up.
Like almost anybody can connect some sort of their lineage back to slavery and claim money. So,
is that true?
Wow. Okay. I would just. I don't know. That's a really interesting question.
You're making a face. What do you think?
You see, because now when I hear a big number, now I'm a little convinced. That is a lot, but I'm curious as to where are they getting that from? Because I know the U.S. is in debt, so
For every citizen, it's a lot.
Right. The Cherokee Indians, for example, they made Africans walk the Trail of Tears. Should Cherokee reservations be forced to pay reparations to Africans?
probably not. So I'm kind of not in favor of this anymore.
How can you be in?
But what governmental power do the Cherokee Indians, have? What power historically in this country do the Cherokee Indians have? Listen, We're not about to. This is what we're not about to do, and they're letting it happen. You know, you go to these places and you ask these questions to these types of people because you know you're gonna get specific types of answers. You know you're gonna get specific type of answers, and for a large part of the viewing audience, they'll think, well, these are college educated people, these are voting age people. They should have the knowledge about this. You know, if you're gonna go out and vote for this, they should have the knowledge about this, but they don't. A lot of voters don't have the knowledge. A lot of voters are stupid. A lot of college age kids are stupid. A lot of people are stupid. So they know what they're doing when they ask these questions to people who have never even thought about this person right here is a communications major. Buddy before was probably a kinesiology major. Those women were finance majors. They know nothing about anything. This conversation has been brought up in passing, and something that we probably have to get accustomed to as a people. Hey, I don't have an opinion. I really don't have an opinion. I believe this thing because I believe for it to be right. I don't have any further information as to why. I've never even thought down that rabbit hole, but I believe this to be right. But it's nasty that you're sitting here with people who are uneducated trying to pit, you know, minority versus minority. Should the Cherokee Indians give up their reservation land? Damn, my nigga. Come on, bro. That's actually nasty work.
Favor of reparations for one group who has ancestral ties to slavery, but not another?
It's a good question.
You see how it kind of breaks down though when you start tracing the ancestry?
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that. Like they're shedding light on it.
Well, that's a very great question because I don't have an answer for it right now.
Yeah, everyone's been oppressed. Every civilization's been oppressed. Stop like victimizing yourself. Stop being hooked on social media. Go for a walk. Go to the gym. I don't know. Do something useful, man.
Do you think it might be better to just move forward and create a system where everybody's based on their meritocracy and just create a system that we can recognize the past and just not do that in the past, but also move forward?
Yeah, of course. Like the whole idea about learning from history in order to not repeat it. Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's very good because like when you first asked me, like, do you think everybody should deserve reparations?
And also, can I give y'all advice? There's a way to ask specific questions to get specific answers. I don't know the phrase for this, but these questions lead to a specific type of response. And they're good at doing this. That's the point of them. They're good at doing this. But he's asking a specific type of questions in a specific type of manner to lead you to a specific point. That's what he's doing.
Like, yeah, but like now it's like kind of contradicting your first question. So
like, I don't think that's the most fair way to do it, especially because some like families could already be rich and still trying to like claim more money from that. So
I don't think it's fair either. Did I change your mind today?
You did change my mind today.
Love it. Well, guys, that's a wrap here at UCLA. A lot of interesting answers today on campus. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Be sure to follow me on all social medias. And if you haven't done so already, to stay up to date with everything that we're doing here, head on over to the App Store and download the PragerU app. I'll see you guys.
Shut up. I also find it interesting that they only found people who were willing to say, change. They were able to change their mind. Leading questions. I think that's what it's called. Leading questions for sure. Yeah, questions that'll lead you to a specific answer. Those are the types of questions they're interested in asking because they know it'll get an answer that they got. And they're also it's amazing that they only were able to find people who are, changing their mind today. Nobody else. And I know what the I know what the comment section is like. It's wow. Listen, man, I'm pro reparations. I am pro reparations. I think the country has done a lot of disservice to Black people. I'm speaking about Black people as a Black person. I think the country has done a lot of things to Black people that go beyond slavery. It's beyond slavery. There's years of stuff like that. Where it comes from, I'm not a financial person. I'm not, hey, y'all figure that out. The country spends a lot of money in a lot of places and we don't see the end results at all Money is made up anyway. Make it up. Make it up. Programs are made up. Make up programs. You take them away for no reason. Make up programs. All those things should be involved in reparations, money and programs. Who gets it as far as the calculation goes? I think that that's fairly easy to trace. We're talking about lineage to American chattel slavery. We as people need to do the due diligence, and by people I mean like the American people, not as individuals. Although I implore individuals to do their due diligence and find out where they came from and if they were part of American chattel slavery. But ties to American chattel slavery, how much whiteness you have, how long you have had this whiteness is also important, or in any sort of mixed ancestry. All that is important. But if you were a victim of American chattel slavery, if you were a victim of segregation, if you were a victim of Jim Crow, if you were a victim of redlining, if you were a victim of any of these things that plagued a specific subsection of people during that day, hey, I personally feel like you are entitled to reparations. Look, the math behind it doesn't have to make sense to me. I'm not in that government agency that is out there to determine that where the money. I don't even know what it looks like. I don't know what America's bank account looks like. I got Bank of America. I know what my Bank of America looks like. I don't know what Bank of America's Bank of America looks like, right? I don't know that. But I do know that there should be something done because a wrong was done. And the idea of, well, let's acknowledge it and move forward. We do a piss poor job of acknowledging it. So acknowledging it just isn't enough, especially when these things were set in place to disenfranchise and continue to disenfranchise. I'm watching Snowfall, and if you don't know anything about Snowfall, it's the movie, or it's the TV show that depicts crack being introduced in the 80s in California, et cetera, et cetera. So in that movie, the reason why Franklin say rises to power, intelligent man, mother did everything in her power to put him in a school system that would lead him to get a scholarship to go to college. From that moment, he is challenged. He is challenged by racists. He is challenged by the system. He is challenged by bigots. He is challenged by everybody to a point where he gets kicked out of school for a clerical error. He gets kicked out of school. A zero gets moved over. It looks like his mom makes way too much. They cancel his financial aid. So it's a clerical error. He gets kicked out of school. He goes back. He works at a little place, a little corner store selling groceries, and he needs to raise these funds. And this leads him down the path of becoming a kingpin drug dealer in the area. It's these small things that we don't think about when it comes to, the actions of America. It's the small things that we don't think about. This small thing changes the trajectory of so many people's outcomes. And we don't think about those things. We just say, fuck it. Snowfall's on Hulu. We just say, fuck it. So without Franklin getting back into that community and introducing drugs to a bunch of different people, you know how many people wouldn't be addicted to crack? Now, if it wasn't Franklin, it would be somebody else. Shut up. But somebody else has in their lineage a story where they were most likely disenfranchised that led them to the outcomes that they are at today. And that's why I feel like reparations are necessary. You can spend all day nitpicking and pinpointing and everything like that. But at the end of the day, if you realize that America has messed up royally, the steps to healing could actually start. They could be quicker, all those things. But